Now many people, they might argue and they may say that Arabs, they were very good in the field of astronomy. Let me remind you that it was after the revelation of the glorious Quran that Arabs, they became good in the field of astronomy and not the vice versa. And it was because of the glorious Quran that Arabs, they became good in the field of astronomy. So it is because of the glorious Quran, the Arabs, they are good in the field of astronomy. Furthermore, in the field of hydrology, we know regarding the water cycle. And the first person who discovered regarding the water cycle, it was Sir Bernard Palissy. In 1580, he discovered regarding the water cycle. And he mentioned regarding the water cycle that the water, it evaporates from the oceans, it forms into clouds. The clouds, they rise, they condense, and water falls, and the water cycle is replenished. So we know regarding the water cycle, and we learn it in school. But previously, what did human beings believe regarding the water cycle? In the 7th century, a person by the name of Thales of Miletus, he said, and he came up with the theory that it is due to the spray of the ocean which fell into the interior as rain. So this is what was thought before, that it is due to the spray of the ocean which fell into the interior as rain. So previously it was believed that it is the spray of the ocean which caused rainfall. And people, they did not know regarding the underground water. And they thought that the water, it passed through a secret passage which forced it into the interior, through a secret passage which was called as Tartarus. And they believed that the pressure of the wind on the water which forced it into the interior. They did not know regarding the underground water. Today we know the underground water, it is due to the seepage of the rainwater. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions regarding the water cycle in Surah Az-Zumar, chapter number 39, verse number 21. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that it is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala who sends down water from the sky, and He causes the earth to soak the water, and He brings forth from its springs, and He brings sown seeds of various colors to grow. Furthermore, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the glorious Quran, Surah Rum, chapter number 30, verse number 24, it is we, that is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala saying, it is we who send down water from the sky, and we give life to the earth after it is dead. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in Surah Al-Mu'minun, chapter number 23, verse number 18, that it is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala who sends down water from the sky. And it is we who send down water from the sky, and we can store it and we can drain it easily. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the glorious Quran, Surah Al-Hijr, chapter 15, verse number 22, we cause the fecundating winds. The Arabic word lawaq is used here, which refers to fecundating winds. The winds, they impregnate. And we know the pollen, it is picked up by the winds and it impregnates the clouds, and then there's rainfall. And the second way is wherein the clouds, they join together and there is thunder and rain falls from the sky. So several places in the glorious Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks regarding the water cycle. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also says in the glorious Quran, Surah An-Nur, chapter 24, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions regarding the water cycle. Surah An-Nur, chapter 24, verse 43, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks regarding the water cycle. That it is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala who sends down water from the skies. And they form into clouds. The clouds move, the clouds rise, the clouds move, they form into a heap, and then water falls from the sky. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks regarding the water cycle. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also talks regarding the water cycle in Surah Ar-Rum, chapter number 30, verse number 48, as well as in Surah Tariq, chapter number 86, verse number 11. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in Surah An-Nur, chapter number 24, verse number 43, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about the clouds. They appear as heaps. They are like heaps. And when we travel in a plane, when we look down, we can see the clouds, they look like mountains of wool. In several places in the glorious Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about the water cycle in great detail. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the glorious Quran, Surah Al-Araf, chapter number 7, verse number 57, in Surah Al-Ra'd, chapter number 13, verse number 17, in Surah Al-Furqan, chapter number 25, verse number 48 and 49, in Surah Al-Yasin, chapter number 36, verse number 34, in Surah Al-Fatir, chapter number 35, verse number 9, in Surah Al-Qaf, chapter number 50, verse number 9 and 10, in Surah Al-Mulk, chapter number 67, verse number 30, in Surah Al-Waqiyah, chapter number 56, verse number 67 to 70. You can go on and on giving references wherein Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about the water cycle in great detail. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about the water cycle in great detail 1400 years ago, which science has discovered it recently, a few hundred years back.